be seeing him on TV commercials, the news, and everything. He like a local. You like a local legend.
Well, I appreciate that,
You're a
but
living
I'm just willing to serve
I
in
just
my
want.
community.
I'm just giving you your flowers. We
Well,
all
I
need our
appreciate
flowers while we on the right side of the dirt.
I appreciate it.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
appreciate it.
You look like me, so I
Yes,
have to
sir.
appreciate your work ethic. You know what I'm saying? The intentional devotion for change. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. And we can't leave it to one single entity to make things happen.
Correct.
There's a saying: if you want change, you be the change.
Yep.
That means that you got to do something, you got to say something, you got to follow it up with action, and be humble about it. All for the sake of having peace, and having a place where you are proud to call your home. Your community, and it starts with me, starts with you.
Right.
We can't depend on the police, the sheriff's office, the city council government. You can't depend on that. You have to work with them. And when there's things that's not going right in your neighborhood, in your area, or in your life, then you be the change.
That's it. Because I have a saying, Mr. Jefferson. It's like I say, when people won't change, but in order to get change, you have to accept change when change comes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like you said, people don't want change, but it's inevitable.
Right.
Change is inevitable. It's not always received properly or accepted, but change is inevitable. It's going to come.
And it be difficult to the ones who don't want to accept the movements that come with the change to get the production of the change.
Yeah, when I was 19 years old, I looked different than I am now at 65.
Right.
It changed.
Man, you 65?
I'm 65.
Dang,
I'll
I
be
gotta hit the
66
button. You're looking good. I'm gonna be looking good at 65 too. You know what they say, black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
You get what I'm saying?
Black don't crack.
Okay, Mr. Jefferson, I go by the name of Boudizi. Take it easy. It is what it is podcast, and we on location at the Fireman Hall 14th annual Stop the Violence Banquet. So I have a question for you. I'm gonna ask you a couple questions.
Okay.
How do you feel about the event tonight?
Well, this is the 14th annual, and I've probably been to the last 10
Right.
or so. I always look forward to it because it's a positive thing that's happening in our community. The only sad thing about this event is that there's no media coverage,
Right.
Because it's a good story. And
No,
that's
no,
not,
no.
I'm
I
not
gotta
just
correct
saying.
you.
I'm not just.
We doing media coverage
I'm gonna
right now.
correct. I'm going to correct myself. What I meant by that is the local news.
Correct.
You are doing a positive thing here, and we appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
But the local news, the three major television stations that's here
Should be
in
covering
the
it.
city is
Right.
not here at this event, even if it's for a 2-minute clip to talk about the positive things in the community.
Right.
Because this is positive. This is something good. We're not talking about a
Sex,
death.
guns, and drugs.
Yeah, we're not talking about any of that.
Right.
We're talking about the positive things that people are doing in the community and being recognized for it.
Right.
So I think this annual event is a good thing, but I think it needs to be exposed more.
Exactly, because when I met, big shout out to Bishop Hall. That's a very good man. The Chihuahua. You know what I'm saying? That's what they always talk about. You're a Chihuahua.
Yeah, he says he's a little chihuahua.
Right.
I said those ankle biters carry a big punch.
Big punch. You know what I'm saying? And I had told him today when I was picking up the food and transporting it over here, I said, listen, all the cane corsos gonna call themselves the little Chihuahua.
Right,
I
right.
said,
That's correct.
you making German Shepherd moves.
That's
you know
correct.
what I'm saying?
That's
so
correct.
The humbleness is you saying I'm a little Chihuahua.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So good event. This is my first time being here. With it being the 14th, because I only been podcasting since August of last year.
Okay.
So I'm just still getting my feet wet, still learning the game, and just being a student.
Well, let me just say this about that. You picked a good platform today to come out and do your thing with the media here because it's going to get more exposure with your followers, your subscribers, and things of that nature. And next year, we hope you come back and it'll be 2 times as large as it is now. So hats off to you for being coerced. No, I'm just playing. Or being invited and uh, coming here to cover this.
It almost was a coercion. You know what I'm saying?
I know him very well.
Yeah,
I know him
it
very
almost
well.
it almost got forced. You didn't have a choice really when it comes to that Chihuahua. When you start biting them ankles, you almost ain't got no choice. You know
It
what I'm
prevents
saying?
you from walking, man.
Right.
Little ankle biters.
So good dialogue on that one. So my second question would be, I'm doing these off the fly because, like I was telling my cameraman and with the 4 stars, that's the undersheriff.
That's the undersheriff.
So I was telling him, I said, I'm gonna ask you something random, and I was like, it's gonna go off the energy that you giving me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he went to think you're gonna go left on me and try to.
Yeah.
Nah, it's just about how you pushing it out. So my question to you, Mr. Jefferson, would be, what would be your determining factor on why the violence in Jacksonville is at such a high rate?
Well, thankfully, it's gone down a little, but it's not enough because we've had this issue for quite a long time. We've been labeled in the past as the murder capital of Florida,
Yep.
which is not a distinction that you want to have in the state of Florida or anywhere else in the United States of America. But you know what? With the violent crime in here, when we look at the age of the suspects and the age of the victims, they're young.
Young.
A lot of them are young and black. A lot of them, not all of them,
Right.
but a lot of them are young and black. And the way that we can help curtail some of that stuff is to let parents parent.
Oh, can I hit the button?
Hit the button. You know, and
Go ahead, black man.
parents have to take responsibility. So many times, parents want to be their children's best friend.
Oh, you go ahead. You read my mind.
They want to club with them. They want to smoke with them.
Wear they
They want
shoes.
to do all the things. They want to try to wear their clothes.
All that.
You know, grandma wearing. Anyway, they want to go there with that kind of thing, and that's not giving an example to the child. You're giving the child is giving you the example as the parent.
Right.
And when you start being your child's best friend, the relationship is gone.
It's over.
The parent-child relationship is gone. I'm gonna tell you this:
The respect.
when I used to ride the beat as a patrol officer, and I would come across situations that involve young people, and out there on the streets, they're big and bad. They're talking all kinds of smack and this, that, and
Reckless.
other. And even had to wrestle and tussle with some of them to get them in the back seat of the car for some crimes that they committed. Once they got in the back seat of the car, they're crying and they're calling for the mama. You know, that tough exterior that you've been trying to portray,
It's over.
all goes in the trunk.
You're in the
Because
pimple.
I call it the cage of reality. When you're sitting in the back of a police car, there's a cage that separates you and the officer. That's the cage of reality.
Right.
Is what I used to call it. And I've had them back there crying, slobbering, crying. You know,
Boo-hooing.
can you just call my mama?
Right.
No, I can't call your mama, but you can call a lawyer when you get down here downtown.
Yep.
You know, but there were more young men that I gave breaks to than I did arrest them because I'm trying to teach them a lesson.
Right.
But I would always tell them, you cross me again,
I got you.
you're going to take the ride.
Right.
Some of them did, and I kept my end of the bargain.
Right. Okay. Great. I got to hit the button again on that one. Because not trying to go, too political or, dig too deep, but to piggyback off you saying how the parents need the parents almost got their power took away from them to parent.
In what regard?
As in chastising?
Yeah. I agree. To an extent.
To an extent. Don't abuse.
See, I would have to go to scripture on that.
Right.
Because
Spare the rod, you spoil the child.
That's one. But it says also foolishness is bound in the heart of a child.
Right.
But, and there's a conjunction there, but the rod of correction shall drive him far from it. The rod of correction is that doggone belt.
That's it.
Time out is not a belt.
Not at all.
Punishing you, sit in your room is not a belt because all you're gonna do is sit there and play video games.
That's it.
So that's no punishment. When you exert discipline, they have to feel it.
Right.
Something that they love, take it away.
Right.
Something that they love to do, stop them from
That's it.
so that they can feel it.
Right.
So they can realize, well, you know, if I do that again,
This the results.
this is going to happen.
Cause and effect.
I don't want that to happen.
Right.
And between the ages of 9 and 12 is when a child is the most impressionable. They're leaving elementary, getting ready to go to middle school.
Right.
Now, when you leave elementary and you go to middle school, you with older kids doing older things. So that's going to be an influence right there.
Yes, sir.
So if you have trained them, that's not to say that they don't want to do anything, because you don't know what your child will do when they're not in your presence. They'll do anything and everything.
Right.
But the foundation has been laid.
Yep.
And if you lay that foundation, then even when those situations come up, they'll think twice about it. They'll think twice about it. Their conscience start talking to them.
Because when I was growing up and I was in school and I cut up something, the worst thing I wanted my teacher or principal to do was call my
your
mama.
That's right.
I take my whatever I need to do
That's
to make
right.
sure my mama don't find out. Go ahead and give it to me.
That's right.
Give me in school suspension. Go on and give me my paddle. But don't write me no referral. Don't call my mama at her job.
That's right.
Because that was law in our house. If they call me at my job, it's going down when I get home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that was good. Also, that the what we'll say the underline of the adolescent violence would be parents are not parenting.
Yeah. Absolutely. Parents are not parenting.
That's it.
Like they should.
Right.
Like they should. You cannot. I mean, when I ride around the city, even now, in some areas of town, I see little small teenagers out 12 o'clock at night. Where are the parents?
We had to be home before the street lights come on. And we ain't had no cell phone. There wasn't no pager. We knew.
That's right. That light. That
street light, you better be in the yard. You better be in voice range.
Yeah.
When mama say boo, yeah, I better be able to reply back. Oh, it's going down. Cause my mama had this thing called the doghouse.
Called what?
The doghouse.
Oh yeah, okay.
So what the doghouse was, we was confined to our room with nothing in it. No Nintendo, because I'm 40 years old. I'm showing I got a little age. I'm 40. So we was in the Nintendo Duck Hunt era.
Oh, you got to hit the button on that.
Oh. Big ups to 40. You know
Black
what I'm
don't crack.
Black don't crack. But we understood, me and my two brothers and my sister, we understood my mama was the enforcer and the lover. Mm-hmm. And we had to choose our side that we wanted to deal with my mama on.
Yeah. Yeah, and see, that's parenting.
Yes,
that's
exactly.
Parenting, and we can't continue to hide behind. Well, I came up in a single parent household.
I did too. I ain't never been to prison.
You know, you can overcome all your obstacles if you want to. I can tell what your future is going to be by the friends that you have.
Every time.
You know, if you got a bunch of broke friends,
you're going to be broke.
Look forward to being broke. Mm-hmm. But if you got some friends that's progressive, that's doing some positive things, that's what you're going to do.
That's it.
Because birds of a feather do what?
Flock
they
together.
Flock together.
They ain't going to hit the button. Okay, so this is our last question because we got to, I know you got to get back up there on the panel. My last question would be, according to your own distinguished beliefs and understanding, why is the age so young for the violence?
Lack of parenting. We'll go right back to that. But you know what? They get it when a child has more time to hang with their friends as opposed to than their family.
Now you're going where I was
thinking. Then they get influenced by those friends.
Right. Because even with my mother parenting me well, outside of me being with my mama, I did what I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
You can't control that. You can't control it. A wise woman once told me the only thing you can do with children is the 3 T's: teach them, train them, then trust them.
That's it.
Because when they're outside of your purview, you can't control them.
You don't know what's going on.
Yeah, you don't. So just keep them lifted up in prayer. I came from a home where prayer was essential.
Right.
And it was done all the time. I can't tell you how many times I've heard my mother praying.
Right.
You know, praying for her children, praying for others around her, praying for peace and harmony, all kinds of things I've heard her pray. And a lot of times, down the road, those prayers are answered.
Right.
They're heard immediately.
Right.
But down the road, they're answered.
Mm-hmm.
all the things, all the times that
The
a
safety,
bullet
protect my
missed you,
son. Yup.
a wreck
Yup.
missed you.
That's mama praying.
All this stuff, that's mama and grandmama
Yup.
praying
Yup.
for their children, their grandchildren,
Yup.
for God to watch over them.
Go ahead,
Not
man.
just
Go
then,
ahead.
but down the road.
Coming in the Honda, leaving in the Chevy.
There you go. There you go.
Hit the button.
So, yeah, hit the button on that one.
So, 14th annual. So, okay, this how I do it too. Give me a summary of our interview.
This was what I would call an essential interview, not just with me, but with anybody that you talk with today, because we all support the same cause.
Right.
We want the violence to stop in our neighborhoods. We want the violence to stop in our schools, in
That's
our
it.
churches, everywhere around here. This interview actually provides more information to your listeners and your viewers who had never heard of the Stop the Violence Banquet,
Right.
who never heard of the organizers of this event. Now they can go on Facebook and follow it. They can follow you while you follow this event,
Right.
and learn a whole lot more. And then not only that, some of them are going to want to be involved.
Right.
And that's the essence of this interview.
That's it. Cause it's like I tell you know the saying, you gotta reach one, teach one, and reach one. You know what I'm saying? So long as you reaching one and I'm reaching one, that's two reached. So once we add one more to you, that's two reaches.
Absolutely.
I add one more to me, that's four reaches.
Absolutely.
So it's just all about the collective.
Yeah.
Because without the collective, it's always gonna be division,
Absolutely.
without a doubt.
Absolutely.
And I truly believe that no matter if you in the forefront, if you the orchestrator, or if you the overseer, long as, like you just said, long as we serving the same cause, I ain't got to be sitting up there.
Doesn't matter who gets the credit.
It don't matter who gets the
That's
credit.
correct.
It's about getting the results, the plan of action, and executing.
And when we think like that, things get done.
That's it. I can hit the button
Hit
on
the
that.
button on that
I
one.
love you.
We'll end on
I
that.
enjoyed this interview, 14th annual Stop the Violence Banquet with Mr. Ken Jefferson. I want to give you flowers again. You're a living
appreciate
legend. I watched Channel 4. I done seen you when you was a police. You know what I'm saying? So to hear you speak in our intimate moment, you definitely are a representation of your actions, and your words follow what you do outside of the saying following the action.
Well, I appreciate you very much.
And guess what I got to do?
You got to hit the button.
Got to hit the button. It is what it is podcast. Ken Jefferson, 14th annual Stop the Violence Banquet.